Hi friend, as you can see it is very cold here in Florida. I have my heater going, I'm all bundled up and I'm still cold. So if you are bundled up just like me, I hope that this video gives you some cozy creative ideas to warm things up. And if it's warm where you are, then I'm officially jelly. But either way, cold or warm, in this video I'm going to show you 10 easy floral doodle ideas that you can add in your journal. These flower doodles are for complete beginners. Even if you've never drawn a flower before, I'm going to show you step by step, and I'm going to make it even easier for you with the printable that I created. If this is our first time together, hi, I'm Maira with Real Designs, and I'm creating this video tutorial as part as the Archer and Olive Ambassador team. If you haven't already, make sure you show your support by liking and subscribing. Alright, go ahead and grab your journal, pencil, and let's go ahead and draw beautiful and easy flower doodles. I'm gonna be using my Archer and Olive dark green journal. This one is the Somber in Blue A5. And remember, if you want to grab something from Archer and Olive, you can use my code VD10 and save 10% at checkout. And now that we have a cute title for our easy floral doodles page, let's start with the tutorial. And I always recommend that you start with pencil first so you can erase and fix any mistakes. First, we're going to start with a stem, and then we're going to start building up by adding some leaves, just like this. And so the leaves are always going to be this C shape. And then if you want, you can add some details just like that. Now, the next floral doodle that we're going to do, we're going to start with the stem. Now, if you want, I'm doing it facing this way, but you can also mix it and face it the other way. Now, for this one, instead of doing the leaves pointing, we're going to do them sort of like oval shape. And then more leaves on either side, and they're both going to meet in the same place in the stem. Then we're going to do a couple more, and then a couple of more leaves. Okay, now for the third greenery, these are also could be considered like blueberries, and you know, these are simple floral doodles. We're not gonna add any names or anything like that because we are keeping it as simple as possible for you. Same, we start with the stem again, and then instead of doing leaves, we're gonna do these little circles. And then we're gonna get a couple of more stems on either side. And then we just add the circles on top of the branches. And that's it. Now let's go ahead and do another one that is going to be similar to this one, but instead of getting the leaves to come directly from the stem, we're going to draw branches just like we did here. We're going to start always with the stem like that, and then we're going to draw a couple of little branches, and now we're going to add the leaves. And now we're gonna draw another greenery, but let's go ahead and do it face it the opposite way. And then we're going to add some of the branches just like this. And then now we're gonna add the leaves rounded as this one. Now that we have a different greeneries, let me show you how to do a floral doodle. We're gonna break it down step by step. We're going to start by drawing a circle. And then you can even sketch a light circle around it, and this could be the base for you to draw the petals. And as you can see, I do it super lightly. Now we're gonna start adding the petals. For the petals, we're going to start drawing the first petal, and then we're going to build from this one, and then from the side of the petal we're going to draw. Now we're keeping the bigger silk circle for reference of the size of our petals. Now let's add another one right here, and now we're going to add another one on this side, and the last petal is going to be on this space right here. Right, so I think this one is simple enough, but it still looks beautiful. Now let's add details to make this flower pop even more. So for that, you can add a bunch of small little circles in the center. Another thing that you can do to the petals to add dimension and even more character details to the flower is we're going to add these wavy lines to some of the petals, and this is going to make it seem like the petals are bent just like that. And then let's add another one to this one here. Another thing that you can add is that you can add shading inside the petals. What do you think? I love drawing floral doodles, and once you break them down step by step, you can see that you can actually draw. Now, another flower that is easy enough to do, we're going to start by drawing the petal first, and then we're going to add another petal to the side, and then another one to the other side. You can leave the flower like this, or you can even add more petals just like this, and then maybe one more at top. You can do the same flower again, but then you can add a stem and leaves. So let's go ahead and do that. So this flower right here, it looks like how we will look from the side, and then now let's do it as if it was open. So you can always, when you're drawing these flowers, to make it easier, drawing a circle first. It will give you the idea of how big you want the flower, and then you can go from there. I think this is one of the easier ways for you to draw flowers, and then you draw 3 petals on one side, and then we go to the other side and do the other petal, and then for the last petal. And actually this petal right here, I did it too small. I want to keep in mind the circle that I did at the beginning, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and do it a little bit bigger. And you can erase as many times as you want to until you're satisfied with the shape. And then in this, if you want, you can add some details on the inside, and then you can do the same as this one, and then let's just add a stem and leaves. Okay, and then you can add the stem and then the leaves. Here's an overview of the flower doodle sketch, and now you can outline them with a fine liner. Here's how our floral doodles look once we're done, and you can keep a reference page like this in your journal, or you can also get the free printable that I created for you, so you can have as a reference. You can also use it as a traceable, so you can trace the floral doodles in practice before you draw them into your bullet journal. I wanted to show you this page that I did on my journal. It is a cover page that I did for January, and I know we're a couple of months into the year, but I just finished setting up my bullet journal, and so this is just an idea of how you can use the floral doodles that we learned here today to decorate your journal. I went ahead and sketched everything, then outlined them, and now I'm using the calligraph pens to give this page some color. And remember to have fun practicing these flower doodles. You can use them for a cover page just like I'm doing here, or fill any empty spaces, decorate headers. Using on days that you don't know what to write on your journal, you can doodle instead. And just remember that creativity doesn't have to be complicated to be mindful. Sometimes a few simple lines on a page are enough to help us slow down, breathe, and reconnect with ourselves. Thank you so much for spending your creative time with me today. If you like this video, again, be sure to like and subscribe. If you made it into this part of the video, make sure you leave some flower and greenery emojis so I know that you're one of the real ones that watched the whole video. If you want to keep learning more about floral doodles, calligraphy, lettering, and all the good stuff that you can implement in your journal or planner, I invite you to subscribe to my channel as well at VL Designs. And if this tutorial was helpful and you recreate any of the things that you learned here today, be sure to tag us on Instagram at VL Designs and then Archer and Olive. You can also use the hashtag Archer and Olive or AO share. That way we can see your work, we can share on you being creative, and go ahead and create something today. I will see you in the next video tutorial.